Good afternoon. This is Melissa with thestockswoosh.com. Today is September 15th. It's a Saturday. And I thought I'd do a little market summary. I think it's good to do this every once in a while. I haven't done one of these yet, but maybe I will start to do this on a regular basis. I play gaps. That is the intraday strategy that I play. However, I also look at the market. I look at the market every day. I look at the market in the morning. I look at the market at night. I look at the market all day long. I have the 1 minute chart of the Qs and the SPYs up on my platform all the time during the day. That's the main chart of the market I watch, but I do sometimes look and flip to all the market charts when I'm watching, when I'm in something, to see what the market's doing. It helps me determine sometimes when to take a target early or when to hold on for a bigger target. Even though gaps move and work, irregardless of the market, many days, specifically strong, good gaps, which I try to play as often as I can, it's good to see the market. The market does tend to help your stock or hurt it maybe not to go to a bigger target. If the market is rallying up green, for example, and you're in a short and you want a big target on the short of the day, it's good not to think that you're going to necessarily get it if the market is breaking out to new highs. So I want to talk about the market today. In the last week, there weren't a lot of earnings. So there wasn't a lot of tradable days for good gaps in the last week. That being said, if you traded daily buy setups or if you traded the market, you probably did well if you were buying it. This is where we're at right now. This is the last couple months. Let's just look at this. This is a 1 day chart of the Qs. And what happened is we went back up and retested this area in August. So in the beginning of August, we retested this area here. We looked like we were going to fail coming above it. We looked like we were just going to push into this resistance area here, and then here again. It looked when we didn't get over that, but we were going to possibly come in and hold this resistance area, but that's not what happened. That's not what happened at all, because on this day here, which was September 6th, the market basically did a daily buy setup, and it was a huge play for anyone that played it or any market stocks that day. It was a big, nice, green, solid, bullish bar, and in that bar, intraday, we actually went over and broke over this resistance area. No question about it. So that was the end of that. Then we came in, and we held right here in the 20. This blue line is a 20-period moving average. This black line is an 8. And then we did another really nice, beautiful daily buy setup really quickly. Came right in on the 8 and the 20, held nicely snug in there, and did a daily buy setup on the 13th this past week. And then we broke out above that area again then on the 14th. So this is just a continuation move then on the 14th, but we broke over this area here on the 13th. So, I mean, the market basically did like a breakout play. If you're looking at the 16-minute chart, that's really what it's set up to do and looked at. It was consolidating, rally, push through this area, and that's what we have. Now, what does this mean for the longer picture of the market? Again, I play intraday, but it's nice to look at trends. As you see, we were in a sideways trend here. This was towards the end of last year, going into the end of last year. And we rallied up the beginning of this year quite a lot. This is almost a straight, line. Look at this. This is almost a vertical line, as much as vertical can get. Pretty straight without any pull-ins. Look at how the market is just tight. This is the 8-period moving average. It couldn't even pull into the 20. Look at that. Tight. 1 day it pulled in here, it gapped down, and then it just immediately burst out through it. Now we finally have a nice pull-in that happened here in the spring. Came down, retested here on the 200 on this area, which you see this is just resistance. Does everybody see this? This came down here, this gap down, this day, this is a gap down. But all it really was coming in here to this resistance area. And then it took off again. Now, when things do this, you don't know what's going to happen here. This might not hold, okay? It might continue down further, and this might have been the end of it. But because this rally was so strong and so tight and held that 8 and went on for 2-3 months, there wasn't a high odds that this is going to be anything but just a pull in here. So anyways, now we're off again. Now we're off to the races again. Who knows? I mean, the way that this green bar set up here so bullishly, the way we barely pulled back for a couple of days, the way we had another big solid bar that same day and broke out again the next day. And remember, we're not not into the fall trading season yet. Okay, these have been slow trading days in here. I mean, there hasn't been a lot of volume really, and this is not really the heavy earnings season, fall season yet. Okay, this is just the beginning of September. So to have this kind of market breakout here in September is somewhat unusual. And so we could be in for a nice long rally here for a little while into the fall. Let's really just go back and look and see where can we possibly go with this thing. All right, we have to go all the way back to the year 2000. And that's, looking at this here now, it looks like we're in for a nice little rally because see this area here, we're over it. We're not quite over this area yet. We're in the 70, 71 range. This is up here, 74.25. But this really isn't that big of a range here. Let's just see this, 76.50. So this is an area. We could push up into here and then pull back a little bit, but I don't think this is a huge area. But that's probably the next place that we rally into. Maybe a little pullback into there. But basically, what I'm thinking is, I'm thinking we could really rally all the way up here into this area here. This is my little prediction, but who knows? I think we're going to rally up at least into this area. How long it takes us to get there, who knows? This is the heaviest price area for some possibility of a real area for the market to maybe hold itself. I don't know if we're going to go all the way up over here. I don't know if we're going to break out over this area here. That would be a nice, huge, big move. But I think there's a lot of price action going on in this area here, in this $88, $87 range, that the way that we just broke out, we could possibly rally nicely and cleanly with little pullbacks all the way up to this area. We're going to halt somewhere around here because there's a lot of price action here, a lot of it. So watch for this area, this first area here, this 74.75. If we push over that pretty quickly, which we could in the next week or two or three, I think we go right all the way up here, and then who knows? So if we're gonna pull in and turn around for real, where we start an actual downtrend again in the market, it's probably going to happen into this area, or we could flip up and fake out some people and go over that area and then come in. But there's so much congestion in here. I don't know if we're going to turn around and go bearish at some point. It could happen in this area here. So let's just look at a bigger picture. Let's just see how small I can get this thing. Here's what I was talking about up here. Really, do you see that? Let's make it smaller, let's see. So hard to see the bars here, but up here is where I was talking about, and see where we are down there at 70 and 18. So, I mean, it's a ways away. It looks pretty big, pretty huge, so who knows, but it's certainly possible. And then we can maybe turn in there. I mean, if you even look at this now, this bigger picture, this is a this is really a straight line. Look at how, I never even saw that till now. Look at this came down, this almost made a triangle, upside down triangle or a pivot here. This really came up fast and hard, like straight. I know this happened over a course of, 3.5 years, but look at that. That's pretty straight. Pretty straight. So I'm thinking we could become a little bit toppy in here, but who knows how long it'll take to get there. So let's look really quickly at the SPYs. I watch both and see what the SPYs are doing. Okay, let's see where we're at right now today. So here was this, remember this day the market broke out, so did this here. Here was where the SPYs were holding resistance down here. And then that same day, the SPYs broke out, nice green bullish bar. Look at this though, the SPY is much stronger than the Qs. I'm just seeing this now here. This was hardly a pull-in at all. Just noticing this now. Hardly any pull-in. We had a bigger pull-in in the SPY, in the Qs than we have here in the SPYs. This really was like a base breakout here, and then up here. So we've been rallying up for some time now. See how this gap down here again, it just retested the resistance. You see that? But again, this is an uptrend here, big time, fast uptrend here. Now longer range, let's go back and look at the 2000 area for the SPYs. Let's see. Over that already. Boy, the SPY's definitely been trading stronger than the Qs now that I'm looking at this bigger time frame picture. Definitely. 57.52. Yeah, I mean, we're about $10 away from that high area on the SPYs. Look at that. There. We're not that far away from it. We could, if we get over this in the SPY, it will push the Qs up to that area or that $88, $89, $87 area that I said faster than we can expect. Or this could rally up to here and hold this resistance area and then pull in, and the Qs can pull in with it. So we'll have to watch and see what happens here, but we're not that far away from this. Look at that. Wow. So, I mean, the bottom line is, if you're in longs, you're happy. If you're in any long-term longs, you've been happy after this pull-in, carried itself up here, and you're still happy. So just be aware of these resistance areas, specifically on the SPYs. I see where that's up, that 157 area. That's not that far away. And the Qs, we have more room to rally, it looks like. So we'll have to see what the SPY does. But if the SPY gets over that resistance, watch out. We're going to be in for a nice bullish move, and the Qs have a ways to go anyways. So you can carry your longs into these areas or just watch to take profits into them. We've had a nice run here. I mean, we could very well pull in this week, sit here on this 8 or pull in all the way. No, I don't even think we're going to pull in all the way there. We could pull into here and then do another daily buy setup and go. But this has just been so strong. I mean, look at this here. This barely pulled in at all here. 1, 2, 3, 4 days. 4 days is all this pulled in here. Interesting. So anyways, this is Melissa with the StockSwoosh.com. I just did a little market summary. If you're interested or would like more information, please feel free to email me at melissa@thestockswoosh.com. I trade intraday gaps, and I also teach a gap seminar. I'm doing one September 22nd and 23rd and September 29th and 30th this month. I'd love to have you. For more information, please feel free to email me at melissa@thestockswoosh.com, and have a great day.